Hello, hello, hello. Hooligan Soccer podcast coming at you this Monday morning for these midweek Premier League fixtures coming up with myself, Gary Striker, and a very busy and hard-worked Qooligan as always. Good morning, Qooligan. How are you?
People keeping me busy.
It's cranking up, It's cranking up all of a sudden, right? There's lots of stories, lots of narratives, and also lots of evolution and partnerships as well that we have going through.
Everybody can call me. I'm changing my name to Q Bunny. So
this is
Q Bunny.
Post Super Bowl post Super Bowl halftime show as well, right? Yeah, that was
lovely halftime entertainment.
Yeah, I thought the halftime entertainment was more interesting than the game. Actually, to be honest, it was a bit of a stale game. To be honest, first half particularly was, that's for sure.
So, I went on the betting sites just to find out what the odds were that the kicker was going to be the MVP in the first half, because it was looking like it could be one of those rare just the kicker scores scenario.
Yeah.
I still think the kicker was robbed. Out of the 29 points that Seattle scored, I think the place kicker was responsible for 16 of them. So he scored more than half of their points, and yet he didn't win the MVP. I mean, that's just the saga of the kicker. What are you going to do, right?
Well, that's
I'd say that for all of your hooligan soccer fans out there, right, you always want to support the place kicker over anybody else, since they're the ones who actually are playing thing closest to the sport of football.
This is
but
true.
There
this is true. Have you heard that rumor that apparently Harry Kane's like a big NFL fan? And
no,
rumors
that's not a rumor. Yeah. That's not a rumor.
Not even a rumor. It's a fact. It's a fact. But the rumor
he
is
has
this.
Publicly stated on numerous occasions his desire when he retires to try and become a place kicker in the NFL. And I don't see why not.
Yeah.
You know, he'll still be fit. He can still hit, right? He can still strike some kind of leather surface with his foot, and he could probably do it very accurately. I would absolutely 100% not be shocked if we see Harry Kane trying to make it into the NFL.
It's that could be. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one.
I mean,
okay.
These kickers over 40 are not uncommon.
Well, I mean, there's not not too much to do, is there? Right? Yeah, just kick a few times, and it's
and avoid getting tackled by a 320-pound juggernaut. But other than that, right?
Just get the kick in, and then you'll be okay. But wonderful. Okay, so let's get into it, Qooligan. So we'll be covering some of the midweek matches that are going to be coming thick and fast.
We got a rich vein of soccer coming up.
There's a bunch of games going on as well. I mean, just sort of looking back at the past weekend, some of the results. I mean, that Liverpool-Man City game was obviously probably the highlight of the game week. I mean, aside from Palace getting that 1-0 win against Brighton, of course, for you, yes.
Well, for me personally, no. It was all about Crystal Palace finally getting a win after what seems like an eternity of winter. A long and cold winter for Palace fans, but we got our win. And I mean, what can I say? It is so much more refreshing to defeat a rival, and when you can carry a derby, it just makes it all the more sweeter. And then we leapfrog them in the standings too. I mean, so it's not just a win, but it's a win that takes us over 30 points and puts us one above the Seagulls. Oh,
yeah,
delicious.
So Palace, you can breathe a sigh of relief. Yeah, it looks like you're going to be okay. You're not going to be relegated this season from a Palace perspective.
I still believe all teams right now that are until you really get to 39, 40 points, there is no safety until you hit that 40-point threshold. In my opinion,
that is true.
You must consider every game, as a final, as a testament, as a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a referendum on your desire to stay up. You gotta every time. It
is. So I mean, but to be honest, like on the relegation side, look, Wolves and Burnley are pretty much all but down,
they're
right?
cooked.
It's going
I'm
to take
sorry.
on.
No,
So
I don't
really,
think-
there's only
No.
one other spot there now for relegation as well. So there's if you want to look at
That
it, I
is.
mean, there's
That-
probably about
and that,
4
by the way,
teams
and that
fighting over
helps quite a bit.
Mhm. Yes,
And you've got 4 or 5 teams fighting for that one undesirable spot. Okay, I like Crystal Palace's odds in that fight, but that means though that the upcoming fixture this midweek against Burnley is huge. This is a massive 6-pointer for Palace. They beat Burnley, they're probably good, right? Because it keeps Burnley down, moves us up. Yay. I don't have to go too much into this, and I don't want to crap on Burnley fans, right? But I am not. I normally will root for Burnley, like not this week. No apologies.
yeah. Okay,
All
well,
off the Eagles.
Yeah, I think Palace. Hopefully, they've come out of that sort of that winter of that crucible winter that they've experienced, and hopefully they can take that win.
Listen, Strand Larson looked sprightly. He looked lively. He had energy. Got a nice yellow card. Good for him. Didn't score, but hey, came close.
Yeah, came close
very
indeed.
Close.
Came close. The other thing that's interesting about last weekend's results is it's kind of like there's all of these sudden like quite a few air pockets now between sort of like teams as well, right? Arsenal sort of running away with it, 6 points clear at the top. They could have extended that to 9 if Liverpool didn't concede that last minute penalty. So Alisson, I'm sure Arsenal fans will be thanking Alisson for that sort of crazy decision making to give away the penalty. But
check his bank account. Check his bank account.
check the money line.
If there are strange wire transfers going into Becker's account, you better start looking for it now.
Yeah, but what does seem to have happened, what I've noticed is, so you've got Arsenal 6 points clear at the top, obviously, and look, we can all read the table, but there's like the gap now between Chelsea and Liverpool, or 5th and 6th, has suddenly become to 4 points. Now, that can get evaporated in 2 game weeks quite easily. I do recognize that, but just looking at the form, there does seem to be sort of, as I say, some of these air pockets sort of breaking out between these guys. And so all of a sudden you've got sort of like Arsenal running away with it, and then you've got that cohort of like Man City to Chelsea. I know Chelsea is sort of still 7 points behind Man City.
You're being very generous with your Chelsea team.
But I'm trying to basically sort of clump them together.
They're 7 points behind Manchester City.
They're 7 points, and they're
13
not catching.
points behind Arsenal.
I'm not suggesting they're going to catch them anywhere, but what I am saying is you do have that pocket, that Champions League cohort, basically from second till fifth, have just suddenly found themselves in that thing. And the way Man U and Chelsea have just found that run of form, you'd expect that to continue. And then you've got the middle of the table now, which is getting quite condensed, and there is going to be a lot of chops and changes. So, but yeah, that's certainly one thing that is becoming clear. Arsenal can't seem to just pull away. I know 6 points is a lot of daylight, but again, that can get eradicated with a couple of draws and all of a sudden a few bad refereeing decisions. So but they really did have a chance to go
2 blips and you're done.
2 blips, yeah. It's
right.
It's
it's like tight. It's 2 eye blinks, and the next thing you know, you're suddenly square again. That's what makes winning these leagues so hard.
Yeah,
it's not just about the winning. It's about being able to just consistently grind results. Right. So far, Arsenal's done a great job on that.
Yeah, they really have.
Right?
They really have.
And Man City on Sunday did a good job on that. They were helped a lot, but they did a great job.
They did. Szoboszlai, that wonder goal again, that free kick. It's
magnificence.
Pure
magnificence. I mean, it floored me actually when you look at a keeper like Donnarumma, and I know you have your thoughts on him. He didn't even move.
You looked at it. He just watched it as well. Like all of us.
That's how good. That's how good a shot it was. Because
he was like,
when Donnarumma doesn't move, you're like, he just went
bang.
And on the inside, he's going, yeah, I can't applaud that one, but damn, what a shot!
That's good
because he had an insane save in the stoppage time to keep them in it. So Donnarumma has still got the capability of making the incredible saves, but there was no force in the universe that was stopping that ball from going in. No.
That was I think that was Dominic Soboslai's 4th direct free kick this season, and I think all 4 of them have been absolute bangers. All of them have been absolute bangers.
I don't think it's as many as 4, but he certainly has had more than anyone else.
Yeah,
right? It used to be that whenever we talk about these scenarios, it was James Ward-Prowse, right? That was the guy who used to have all the brutal dead balls. Sadly, Prowse is now sitting on the bench in Burnley, but and has yet to get a chance to even break that record, because he's only 1 goal away from breaking the record for most direct free kicks in Premier League history. Yes, I believe so.
I didn't know that. Okay, that's an interesting stat. Okay,
you can fact check me on that one, but I think that's actually true.
Okay, what is the record for most direct free kicks?
I don't know what that number is, but it's not as high as you think it is.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's not as high as you think it is.
Okay.
But if Soboslai keeps having days like this, he's going to be close.
Yeah, he is rapidly becoming, I think, Liverpool's best player this season. He really has stood out as well. I know Ekitike's been great, but he is the one that has jumped out at me.
Ekitike, and I'll tell you something. I think Florian Wirtz, if he stays in hot form, he didn't have a great game, yesterday, but Wirtz has a chance to prove himself as well.
Yeah. He does. Yeah. Liverpool, of course, playing Sunderland. They lost. They obviously got run over by by Arsenal, obviously, in this last game week as well. This is going to be an interesting one here. This is another one of those games where Sunderland can go level on points with Liverpool if they beat them, and Liverpool are looking fragile. They are looking fragile. They have not been the dominant force that they were last season as well. This is, shock horror. That's not any big news or sort of big breaking news. But again, if you would have said at the beginning of the season, Liverpool and Sunderland are going to be pretty close, you would have been like, what, the team who got promoted against the champions? Yeah. This is ridiculous to think about.
Brentford, of all the teams in the universe, Brentford are currently completely level with Liverpool, both on points and goal differential.
Crazy thing Brentford have lost Thomas Frank.
That to me absolutely goes. I don't understand that at all.
If you said last season, 25 games into the season, Brentford will be neck and neck with Liverpool next season, you would have been like, what the hell? Like,
nobody would have taken that bet. Nobody in their right mind would have taken that bet.
Nope. It's true. So you got Liverpool Sunderland. That will be a good game to watch. That will definitely be very interesting. And I think this game we've got quite a few banana skins in it. There's going to be, again, this is where the grind, the tiredness, the sort of the fatigue gets in there as well. So let's start from the top as well. So we've got Chelsea hosting Leeds.
This is the biggest banana peel of them all. You
said that last podcast as well about Chelsea against Wolves, and saying
I'll say it again. And I'll say it again because
keep saying banana peels until one does it present
But
itself.
again, but let's unpack what happened with Chelsea. That wasn't a Chelsea win. That was Cole Palmer FC once again.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was Wolves self-destructing and shooting themselves in the foot by
absolutely
giving away two bullshit penalties.
You cannot sit there and go, no, they
was not convincing.
But Leeds are no Wolves. Leeds is not Wolverhampton. They are much tougher than that. And let us not forget what happened in December.
They did. Leeds beat them,
Right?
Leeds
turned it around. Absolutely. They just dismantled them, right?
Yeah, they did.
And so maybe it's Cole Palmer versus, Dominic Calvert-Lewin in this one. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Chelsea will win. They should. Rossinier has done such a really good job outside of the 2 losses that he had. He's really done a fine job in navigating the choppy waters of Chelsea Football Club's day-to-day operations, as well as, what can be a very tumultuous dressing room. So, I mean, well done to him. And
he's done very well.
Yeah, I'd say this is likely theirs to win. But if Leeds was to pull an upset, I would also not be shocked.
I agree.
That's all.
Yeah, look, there's no easy games, absolutely, and especially with a team like Leeds who are really fighting for survival as well. They definitely need everything they can get. But I
not
agree
just
with you.
Fighting for survival, but surviving. I mean, I think that's the thing. They have been scrappy, and they've had some terrible losses. But when the chips are down, they're doing the business. So good for them.
They are. Yeah. So you'd expect Chelsea to do that. One of the things that was interesting for me is if you listen to some of the post-match reaction as well from some of the Chelsea players, particularly Cole Palmer, who was just speaking very highly about Rossinier, just saying how It's fun. Training sessions are fun. He's enjoying it. He's sort of like got that sort of spark in his step, and he seems to be sort of very human in his approach, which has been refreshing as well. So yes, as long as from a Chelsea fan's perspective, as long as those wins keep coming as well, he is going to ingratiate himself very, very well with the Chelsea faithful. That's for sure. Okay, there's also another interesting game. You got Spurs against Newcastle. Now again, Spurs. I mean, Spurs. And Newcastle. Both of them Champions League teams, but yet in the league they are struggling. I mean, look, Newcastle 3 straight losses. I know there's rumors circulating about Eddie Howe being removed and being replaced as well. I know the Newcastle sort of team have sort of stuck with him over a good number of years, and he has delivered some relative success in terms of Champions League football. But Spurs, I mean, look at that. Spurs are on 29 points. They haven't won a game in the last 5. They've only drawn 2. This is a sort of like a bum match, isn't it? Where the two of them, just 2 drunk guys outside in a bar without any teeth swinging at each other.
You're not pulling out the old hobo fight analogy, are you? Yeah. Oh, my Lord. You're right, though. I mean, either side on a good day is capable of some really scintillating action and playing lovely soccer. The problem is that that's only happening now like once every 4 games, 5 games. And it's not happening, and it's really not happening in league play. It's or as if they're
for Spurs. Yeah.
Or at home in a lot of cases. Sure. In our last podcast, our special guest, Reese, Pythag, let's call him Pythag, was commenting about how Spurs and Thomas Frank and the Spurs team just struggle desperately at home. And a lot of that's probably due to fan feedback and fan blowback, right? It's tough playing at home when you're not getting love, right? I mean, even Crystal Palace in their lowest doesn't get the type of vitriol from their fans on home games that other clubs seem to get, right? All things in, you rarely hear boos at Selhurst Park. But I'm telling you, man, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that's like a boo cauldron. It's like Halloween.
It's
just, everywhere you go, it's terrible.
It's Spurs, again, it doesn't, no matter what manager they get in, they just seem to be, whether it's Ange or what's going on. I mean, they got really lucky last season by winning that Europa League and then getting into the Champions League. But I mean, again, they were 16th last season, and they're probably going to be in the same position again.
Well, and I think Tom, and the funny thing is that if you're Thomas Frank right now, the Champions League is everything, and it's funny, there are a number of English clubs where that's the case. Liverpool, they're still in Champions League.
Newcastle,
right? Newcastle still in Champions League. Tottenham still in Champions League. Arsenal and Man City both still in there, right? Wow, that's fantastic. They're all in. They're all going to go for it. Many of them have buys, right? So they don't have to go through the play. They don't have to go through the play in the playoff 2-game. Cauldron. But wow, it's I don't have a lot to say about this game other than the fact that I will be watching it with interest, almost more to hear what the crowd has to say.
They will be, yeah. It's going to be a hard one to call, where 2 teams both sort of out of form, down on their luck, and struggling. That is for sure.
I mean, I have to give the edge. I do have to give the edge to Newcastle. If I was forced to pick a team, I'd say probably Newcastle could do it.
Yeah, but even on their form, I mean, the last 3 games, they've lost the last 3 games in the league as well. And they lost to Brentford, lost to Liverpool, lost to Arsenal, lost to Villa as well. I mean, those were bigger and better teams with them as well. But yeah, Spurs also just really, really struggling. But okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that one. The other game as well that we thought was quite interesting, West Ham with a re-energized, resurgent, top 4 looking team, Manchester United under Michael Carrick. I won't discuss his employment status next season because we've covered that one too many times. However, Man U, on the form that they're on, they must be bouncing and saying all of a sudden how it's turned around and gone from, God, we've got another game this week coming on, dreading this is going to be fun under Amarin and this goddamn 3-4-3 system that he was married to. So all of a sudden, playing for Carrick, it's like, let's bring them on. Let's keep going because they just keep winning and grinding them out and looking really, really good. Kobe Mainu coming back into form.
It's astounding to me that Manchester United have only lost 5 games this season.
It's crazy.
No, and I'm not saying that as a disrespect to them, but it there are 3 teams that have lost 5 or fewer games. One of them obviously is Arsenal, sitting at the top with 3. The other one is the other Manchester, and that's City. Suddenly red versus blue really has meaning. And that you couldn't, and there was a long time where you really could say that there was neither, that there was really one that was high and one that was low. Now they're both looking pretty square and eye to eye. The next derby, there is another derby coming up, right? Another Manchester derby, or they were. No,
I don't know exactly.
Not sure, but if there is, wow, it's going to be a great one. Actually, no, I think they might have already played the reverse fixture, but who knows? I think West Ham loses this game. I think their magic run and their little like pop ends.
They've had their pop, yeah.
Well, because I think Manchester United is just, God, do I have to say they're just too good right now? Because that almost hurts me to say it. But I think they're just too good right now.
Well, good for momentum rather than, I still think there's obviously good issues with the squad and they need to rotate some players out and things. But what they've got at the moment, there is just a wonderful sort of tailwind for them that's just driving them along. And I
think Bueno is killing it.
He looks fantastic, doesn't he?
Best signing, best one of hands up, one of the best signings of the year. Right. There's a lot of arguments that you can make about a lot of different players, but I think Bueno would be my lead.
And Bueno and Ekitike have probably been the 2. Well, yeah, they'd be competing for the 2 best signings for this transfer window, right? Yeah, one of those two, perhaps. But yeah, I think, man, you're pretty confident, should go into this one, and if they carry on in this rate, then there will be sort of, I think there'll be Champions League, back in the Champions League next season, that's for sure. Okay, let's also go through some of the other games as well, just to sort of close this out. So we've got your beloved Palace back in form against Burnley. I'm not going to go as far as to say 2 punch-drunk guys outside of a bar, but Palace have certainly got a little bit of dignity and decorum back there.
Don't even go there.
Don't do it. With Palace being at home as well, and then the sort of the momentum and the bounce that maybe is about to ensue, that they should be able to, especially with Burnley.
It's a must win for Palace, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it, from the guy who's pouring the lager to the person who's reheating the pie. They know that this is a must win for Palace, and I think the team will respond.
Yeah. I think Palace, hopefully they'll sort of get back into the kick, because it's been terrible just watching them sink like they have over the last couple of months. And then Man City, Fulham. I mean, this is for City, even if they want to have a remote chance of even sort of, having a sniff at winning this league, they have to win every game from here on out. They have to. Any draws, that's right. Arsenal will just jump on as well and just say, even if Arsenal draw as well, they will be okay with that 6-point difference. So you'd expect City to go full out. And I do wonder, does the sort of strain, because City's defense does look, you can get at them. Despite them having Gay, despite them having Donnarumma there, you can get at City. So that I suspect they're going to probably concede some more goals, but also top goal scorers in the league with Haaland and Semenyo now as well. So yeah, they definitely will be entertaining to watch for the remainder of the season.
And Fulham is one of those teams where they just fly under the radar. They're just flying under the radar and sitting square in that mid-table. And personally, I think they've got to be content with that, right? This is that magic part of the table that Crystal Palace has occupied for the last 6 or 7 years, right? Never more than 9, right? Never lower than 13, just right there in that middle band where, catch the occasional turbulence, but otherwise it's smooth sailing. And so I think Fulham is going to be fine. I think the fact that they're going to the Etihad and that City has everything in the world to play for is just going to make it. It's going to make it City's game. It's City's game.
Yeah, you'd expect that. Yeah. You would. And then obviously we covered Liverpool, Sunderland, which will be an interesting one as well. I think that it's no certainties there that Liverpool will get that one for sure. But the other one, which will be an interesting one, is another London derby, Brentford hosting. They're hosting Arsenal.
No, this is match of the week in my opinion, right? I think Liverpool, Sunderland could be a great one, but I really do think that it's Brentford, Arsenal that is the match of the week.
Yeah.
Wow. What? And again, only because listen, Brentford's in 7th place, 39 points, sitting, under a first-time manager, right? Keith Andrews, this is his first gig. I think he's setting himself up for one hell of a move. Right?
Well, again, would you? I mean, yeah, they've really outperformed. They really have outperformed. I think we both said at the beginning of this season as well, just the fact that
they were on my list. They were on my list for.
Yeah, they were going to sink. They were going to sink. They'd lost Frank. They'd lost the backroom staff. They'd obviously lost every single season. They'd have assets stripped and key players get taken away. And they've just outperformed and out-delivered. It has been incredible. It has been absolutely gravity-defying performance.
And here's one of the reasons why. Their home form at Brentford is fantastic. 7 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. Right? With a plus 11 goal differential.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, so now, admittedly, Arsenal's got the best road form, identical road form as Brentford's home form. So this is it. This is the clash. Arsenal's road form against Brentford's home form. Dude, flip a coin, because I don't know who's gonna come out and win it. Based just on roster and depth of talent, it's got to be Arsenal. But I don't think I would take money against Brentford for this. Hell no. They're way too stubborn. They're way too stubborn.
They could deliver a sucker punch here and sort of really sort of put
and I mean, that's what Man City's waiting for, right? I mean, they don't have the luxury this time of seeing what the result of the game is, because the Arsenal-Brentford game is the last game, right, of this match week. Arsenal will have the benefit of doing it. And so in some cases that might favor them, because if they know, for example, that Man City dropped points, that makes this game much easier for them to face. But if they've got that pressure of all of a sudden Man City only being 3 points behind because they won, oh boy, howdy, it's gonna be a wrangle.
It's coming. It's gonna be tight, isn't it? Yeah. It's gonna be very tight. So well, it's definitely getting to that stage, isn't it, where the fixture schedule as well starts to play a psychological impact as well. And the idea is, if you go first and you win, then obviously you can breathe and relax. But if you go first and you draw or lose and drop some points, then I think it just gives that sort of added impetus to sort of go out and sort of make sure that you push, or you sort of park the bus a little bit more and hold on, right? So yeah, that's definitely it. Wonderful. Qooligan, I think that takes us through all the major fixtures for this midweek game week. We have coming up this coming weekend, we have the FA Cup coming back to us as well, so we'll do an FA Cup special. We also have a recording coming up on Wednesday with a special guest, as the MLS starts to pick up as well, as we start to sort of start building up for momentum for that as well.
Coming stateside again, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Well, it should be fun. It should be a fun season as well, especially with all the new signings that are going on and all the managerial transfer activity as well. So there will be some shake-ups as well. As always, guys, hooligan-soccer.com. Come and find out where the musings, writings, insights, and soon-to-be new tactical analysis, and also a new merch store as well, which we've got and stood up as well, so you can go and get some merch, which we'll be starting to push and promote here as well, for sure. Until then, Qooligan, thank you as always. Until next time.
Peace.